Good morning, students. We shall discuss the first chapter today, active and passive voice. I had already put a short video in English 2 literature part, this one. I'm putting it according to the new syllabus of your class 10th. In the other one, I had used the old book. So here we have the chapter 1, active and passive voice. As you have already learned in the lower class, active and passive voice is used to give importance to the doer or the receiver. So we will see now where do we give importance to the doer and where do we give importance to the receiver. So here we have the voice of a verb indicate whether the subject is the doer or the receiver. For example, here Sumit repaired the car and the car was repaired by Sumit. So here Sumit is the subject and here the doer is Sumit and the receiver is the car. So it is a active voice. So here we have another sentence. The car was repaired by Sumit. So here the receiver is the car and the doer is Sumit. And this is passive voice. So here we have the same sentence put in two different forms. The car was repaired by Sumit. The car is given important. And Sumit repaired car. Sumit is given important. So in the first sentence, the doer is given important. And in the second sentence, the receiver of the action is given importance. So let us see the places where we have got to use passive voice. We find in these two sentences the meaning is the same. So let us see where the passive voices are used. First of all, it is used to give importance to the doer, the receiver. Secondly, to define something. When we have to give definitions, we use passive voice. Now, when we have to narrate any incident, again we use a passive voice. When we have to describe some historical or social incidents, then also we use a passive voice. Then we used when we have to write notice. When I taught you notice, I told you it has to always be in the passive voice. When we have to give advice or suggest or warning to somebody, we use passive voice. And then we have to write invitations or request. When we have got to make invitations and request, we use passive voice. You might have seen when we make announcements, then we may use a passive voice. So we use passive voices in many places. So it is important we should know how to turn an active voice into passive voice or turn a passive voice into active voice. So how we will turn an active voice into passive voice? First of all, before we think of turning an active voice into a passive voice, we should know only transitive sentences can be changed into active or passive voice. Now you may remember what is a transitive sentence. We have learned three kinds of sentences: transitive, intransitive, and verb of incomplete predication. So transitive sentence is a sentence which has got an object, whereas an intransitive sentence do not have an object. So it is only transitive sentence that can be changed into a sentence. Now let us see what is an object. For if you have doubt to find out what is an object, look at it. The first sentence, I taught her cooking. Okay, is a sentence. I is the subject here taught is the verb here and her is the object here. So object is a person or thing. Now we know there are two kinds of object, direct object and indirect object. There may be sentences having both the object, that is direct and indirect object. Direct object is always things and indirect object is always persons. So let's see here a sentence. Now whenever we have got two objects, we can turn that in the following way. So here you see two objects. We have taught, her, cooking. Her is one object, cooking is another object. So we can have this changed into passive voice in two ways. First one, she was taught cooking by me. Her is changed into she and taught is the past tense. Therefore, we change that into was taught and then cooking by me. So remember students, whenever we change active voice into passive voice, we do not change the tense of the sentence. We add appropriate helping verb in the passive voice. So if it is a present tense, we add an appropriate helping verb of the present tense in the passive voice. Let's see it. So let's see the tenses used in the voice. For simple present tense, he plants a tree. Look at he plants, simple present tense. So the helping verb that could be used is, are. So here we have got plants is a singular verb. Therefore we add an appropriate helping verb is. So we have a is, are. Therefore is used with I, are is used with plural form, is used with singular. Since here he plants a tree is singular form, we add is. The object here is a tree. So here a tree is planted. We use a word by him. Now let us see simple past tense. Simple past tense, when we use he planted a tree. Let's make the same sentence. He planted a tree. So planted is simple past tense. We have the appropriate helping verb in the past tense is was and were. Was is used for singular form and were is used for a plural form. If it was he planted a tree, it would be a tree was planted by him. Now let's see past continuous tense. See the sentence, he is planting a tree. So here we have already helping verb given. We don't have to go in search of the helping verb. But it is to be remembered that every passive voice, the verb is the third form of the verb. That is past participle form of the verb. Therefore, in continuous tense, our verb is going to be the third form of the verb planted. And we have to add ing form in this. So we are being. So we have the sentence present continuous. He is planting a tree will change into he is being a tree is being planted by him. I hope you understood now the third form, three forms. Now let us see the next one, present perfect one. We have already the helping verb has, have. So we don't have to go in search of helping verb. We have already has, have. Then in order to show the difference between the active and passive voice, we use the been in the passive voice. So we have he has planted a tree. Then when we change it into passive voice, a tree has been planted. Has is used for singular and have is used for plural. The same format could be used for the past tense and also for another form. So we have got a past tense. In past tense, was, were is the helping verb, so we use. And here again, past perfect we have had, present perfect we had have and has. Here we have had, so had been is used here, and in the ing form being is used. And then for future tense we have already will, shall, the helping verb, so we use be along with helping verb will and shall. It would be the same with any other models, would, should, could, may, all these words we have to use be. Now conditional if cases, would, planned, would be, same. Okay, now perfect continuation, if it is a perfect conditional, already would will be, would have will be there in the passive voice, so we add been into the passive voice. For is, was, to, planned, is, was, to, have been is to be used. Ing form we have got a having to be used. So this is the already model that you have already come across. Now let us see a few more rules that we have to remember while converting active into passive voice. We already saw the first one when we have two objects. Now let us see the second one. When a prepositional verb is changed from active to passive voice, the preposition should not be dropped. What do you mean by dropped? Should not be given, should not be lived, should not be removed from there. So it should not be dropped. For example, they laughed at a poor man. Look at here. Laughed at is the preposition here. So laughed at is the prepositional verb. This should be carried over when we change into passive voice. For example, what is the object here? A poor man. So a poor man, what is the tense here? Simple past tense. Was, then what is the verb? Laughed at. That at has to be carried by them. They change into them. So we have the next one, third one. To change auxiliary verb from active to passive voice, we add be. We already saw in the format. Mona can do this. So this is the object. This sum. Can is the verb. Can be done. Because when we have a model, can is a model here. Can do, can be done by Mona. Name is given already there. So we have the next one here, the fourth one. To change imperative sentences from active to passive voice, let be is used. Then otherwise should be also can be used. So let's see imperative sentence. Close the window. What is the object here? The window. The subject here is understood. Okay, you close that window. So let the close. See, let, it has to be used. Let the window be here closed. By who we don't have to write. Okay, because it's not mentioned here. So let the window be closed. Same way, respect your elders. Your elders should be respected. So we have got this format here for imperative sentences. Let's see now the next one. If intransitive verb are used, the change imperative sentence into passive voice carried out in the following manner in case an intransitive sentence comes. Do it just now. You are ordered to do it just now. Now, sometime a transitive verb gives the passive sense. It is called quasi-passive voice. So let's see what is that. Sugar tastes sweet. It's already in the active voice and we feel as if it is changing into passive voice. We feel sugar is sweet when tasted. This is quasi-passive voice form. Okay. And then the cloth feels rough. So the cloth is rough when it is felt, when it is touched. That's what it means, quasi passive form. Now let us see the next one, continuous form. For example, most continuous form, passive continuous is connected with the continuity rather than completed state of the action. For example, the laborers are cutting the grass. So we have the grass is the object here. The grass are cutting is the present continuous tense. Grass is singular, so is being cut. So we have to use being for ing form of cut by the laborers. So we have got to use being. The word being is to be used with a continuous form. Whether it is present or past tense, we have to use a continuous form. Now, next one, interrogative sentences. Now, for interrogative sentences, the helping verb what we use is do, does, did. Or if it is already the helping verb given, then is, are, was, were, and have past. Then we also can use has and have also. So, for example, let's see. Do you stitch the shirt? Do is the verb given here. Okay, we have to change them into is, are, was, were, and have. Okay, so do you stitch the shirt? What is the object here? The shirt. Okay, and the verb stitch, a simple present tense. So let's say simple present tense we change into is the shirt stitched by you, third form of the verb stitched. Okay, the same way, did they solve the problem? This is past tense, so instead of is we use was the puzzle solved by them. Same way, have they done their homework? If since it is already have had, we use the same thing. Okay, if it is this verb already given in the help question, we use the same. So has the homework is the object done by him. So that way we can also change the active voice into passive voice. Now next one, impersonal use. It is the passive voice which offers a useful way of expressing something impersonally, when we don't have to personalize or say who and what and when. Then in that cases we usually use passive voices, because we don't want to say the exact thing or the person. It is hoped that the train will arrive on time. Okay, so that can be used like that. So next one is avoiding vague words as subjects. Here a vague words means first of all someone or person, when we do not know who exactly the doer is. In such cases we don't have to write it in the object form. For example, someone or a person. For example, after my lecture I was to explain a point. Okay, after my lecture I was asked to explain a point. I was blamed for his action. Now this by someone is not necessary. After my lecture I was asked by someone to explain the point. That is the what when we think of writing. If it was somebody's name given, then you have to use it. Since name is not given, see, for example, I was blamed by someone for his action. So that by someone is not necessary. So the same way, secondly, the passive voice is used when the subject is an indefinite pronoun. If the pronoun is not definite, not noun. For example, the form has to be signed. Who has to sign? It is not told. So the form has to be signed by somebody. You don't have to say who it is. Lawns arranged, shoes repaired, entry prohibited. For this by, we don't have to mention. So I hope you have understood now the lesson. You have at the end of this lesson an assignment. You have almost 15 questions. So you have to do it. try to do it in the book itself with a pencil. We shall discuss it when we come back. Till we come with the next class, stay home, stay safe. Thank you.